from the Torah as we are reading through the entire Torah over the first several months of 2022. If you want to read along with me, I'm doing the Bible Project's reading plan, the Torah, on the Youversion app and Bible.com. So there should be a link also in the information from this stream on YouTube and on Facebook, just a link to click and be a part of that. Encourage you guys to join me as I'm reading through that, especially as Saturday and Sunday I don't do a video devotional. But I think last year we read through the New Testament, and so I wanted to start going through the Old Testament. And as I've been kind of stating for some time, as a follower of Jesus, this is something that we are supposed to do. We're supposed to be. Last week I talked about in church on Sunday that we're supposed to be devourers of the Word. And studying Scripture and allowing God to speak to us as we prayerfully read through Scripture. It's not just a task that we do to get it over with, but it's a task that we do with anticipation that God will speak to us and God will help us see how we can best live out the grace, love, and forgiveness of Jesus in our everyday life. So today we're looking at Genesis 35 and 36. Then God said to Jacob, "Go up at once to Bethel and live there. Make an altar there to God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob told his household and all who were with him, "Get rid of the foreign gods you have among you, purify yourselves, and change your clothes. Let us go up at once to Bethel. Then I will make an altar there to God who responded to me in my time of distress and has been with me wherever I went." So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods that were in their possessions and all the rings that were in their ears. And Jacob buried them under the oak near Shechem, and they started on their journey. The surrounding cities were afraid of God, and they did not pursue the sons of Jacob. Jacob and all those who were with him arrived at Luz, that is Bethel, in the land of Canaan. He built an altar there and named the place El Bethel, because there God revealed himself to him when he was fleeing from his brother. Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried under the oak below Bethel. Thus it was named Oak of Weeping. God appeared to Jacob again after he returned from Paddan Aram and blessed him. And God said to him, "Your name is Jacob, but your name will no longer be called Jacob. Israel will be your name." So God named him Israel. And then God said to him, "I am the sovereign God. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation, even a company of nations, will descend from you. Kings will be among your descendants. The land I gave to Abraham and Isaac I will give to you, to your descendants. I will also give this land to your descendants. I will also give this land." Then God went up from there where he spoke with him. So Jacob set up a sacred stone pillar in the place where God spoke to him. And he poured out a drink offering on it, and he poured oil on it. Jacob named the place where God spoke with him Bethel. They traveled from Bethel. When Ephrath was still some distance away, Rachel went into labor, and her labor was hard. When her labor was at its hardest, the midwife said to her, "Don't be afraid, for you are having another son." With her dying breath, she named him Beoni, but his father called him Benjamin instead. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Jacob set up a marker over her grave. It is the marker of Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel traveled on and pitched his tent beyond Migdal Eder. While Israel was still in the land, Reuben had sexual relations with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard about it. Jacob had 12 sons. The sons of Leah were Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, as well as Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servants, were Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servants, were Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Paddan Aram. So Jacob came back to his father Isaac in Mamre, to Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had stayed. Isaac lived to be 180 years old. Then Isaac breathed his last and joined his ancestors. He died an old man who had lived a full life. His sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Chapter 36. What follows is the account of Esau, also known as Edom. Esau took his wives from the Canaanites, Adah, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anna, and the granddaughter of Zibeon the Hivite, in addition to Basemath, the daughter of Ishmael and sister of Nebaioth. Adah bore Eliphaz to Esau. Basemah bore Reu, and Oholibamah bore Jeush, Jalam, and Koram. These were the sons of Esau who were born to him in the land of Canaan. Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, all the people in his household, his livestock, his animals, and all the possessions which he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and went to a land some distance away from Jacob his brother, because they had too many possessions to be able to stay together. And the land where they had settled was not able to support them because of their livestock. So Esau, also known as Edom, lived in the hill country of Seir. This is the account of Esau, the father of the Edomites in the hill country of Seir. These were the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, son of Esau's wife Adah, and Reuel, son of Esau's wife Basemath. The sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omer, Zepho, Gatma, Kenaz. Timnah was a concubine of Esau's son Eliphaz, bore Amalek to Eliphaz, and these were the sons of Esau's wife Adah. These were the sons of Reuel: Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, Mizah. These were the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These were the sons of Esau's wife Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna, the granddaughter of Zibeon. She bore Jeush, Jamal, Korah to Esau. These were the chiefs among the descendants of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, Esau's firstborn: chief Teman, chief Omar, chief Zepho, chief Kenaz, chief Korah, chief Gatma, chief Amalek. These are the chiefs descendants from Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Adah. These were the sons of Esau's son Reuel: chief Nahath, chief Zerah, chief Shammah, chief Mizah. These were the chiefs descended from Reuel in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These were the sons of Esau's wife Oholibamah: chief Jeush, chief Jamal, chief Korah. These were the chiefs descended from Esau's wife Oholibamah, daughter of Anna. These were the sons of Esau, also known as Edom, and these were their chiefs. These were the sons of Seir the Horite, who were living in the land: Lotan, Zobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Ezer, Dishan. These were the chiefs of the Horites, descendants of Seir in the land of Edom. The sons of Lotan were Hori and Homan. The Lotan's sister was Timnah. These were the sons of Shobal, Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shipho, and Onam. These were the sons of Zibeon: Aiah, Anah, who discovered the hot springs in the wilderness as he pastured donkeys of his father Zibeon. These were the children of Anah: Dishon and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna. These were the sons of Dishon: Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, Keran. These were the sons of Ezer: Bilhan, Zaavan, Akan. These were the sons of Dishan, Uz, and Aran. These were the chiefs of the Horites: Chief Lotan, Chief Shobal, Chief Zibeon, Chief Anna, Chief Dishon, Chief Ezer, Chief Dishan. These were the chiefs of the Horites according to their chief lists in the land of Sinir. These were the kings who reigned in the land of Edom before any king ruled over the Israelites. Bela the son of Beor reigned in Edom, and the name of his city was Dinhabah. When Bela died, Jobab the son of Zerah from Borzra reigned in his place. When Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites reigned in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, the son of Bedad, who defeated the Midianites in the land of Moab, reigned in his place, and the name of his city was Avith. When Hadad died, Samlah from Masrekah reigned in his place. When Samlah died, Shaul from Rehoboth by the river reigned in his place. When Shaul died, Baal-Hanan, the son of Achbor, reigned in his place. When Baal-Hanan, the son of Achbor, died, Hadad reigned in his place. The name of his city was Pau. His wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mizahab. These were the names of the chiefs of Esau according to their families, according to their places, by their names: Chief Timah, Chief Alva, Chief Jetheth, Chief Oholibamah, Chief Elah, Chief Pinon, Chief Kenaz, Chief Timman, Chief Mizbah, Chief Magdiel, Chief Eram. These were the chiefs of Edom according to their settlements in the land they possessed. This was Esau, the father of the Edomites. A lot of names. Names are important. And when we pay attention to these, when we pay attention to places as well, we see that these groups, they come back up, and part of what is going on here is the people of Israel's story is being told, and the people that are part of that, the different peoples that are part of their story, we see them here in their beginnings, and so that's part of why this is there. A lot of times we have a tendency just to run over the names and not read them and just kind of skip that part because we're like, oh, those are a bunch of names that I can't pronounce. I've had 7 years of Hebrew and I still struggle to pronounce some of those names, and so but they're important because those people groups continue to impact the people of Israel. And so it's important that we understand that. There are a couple things that I want to talk about. One of them is that, all right, it looks like I just have time for one. When Jacob goes to Bethel, or is told to go to Bethel by God, he gathers his people and he says, okay, put away any foreign gods, essentially any idols that you have. Now, we may look at that like, well, why do they have idols? And, because it's just Jacob's family, and so shouldn't they all do that? But really, Jacob's household would have been much larger. Abraham had no children, but he still, within his household, had 300 men trained in war that he took to rescue Lot, okay? With no children, his household was well over 300 people because he had 300 essentially men trained to battle. So they were at the height of their youth, and they had been trained specifically for battle. So he had many other people part of his household. And so when Jacob says, okay, we're leaving, you need to put away your gods, he's speaking to his family, but he's speaking to the rest of his household. And we do know that Rachel had stolen her father's idols and taken them with them. And so there were these idols that were still a part of this household that these people had. And so Jacob says there's no more of that. We need to make sure and leave that all behind. They're leaving Padan Aram and coming into this new land, and so they are leaving behind any of those old gods, and really that's kind of similar to what Abraham did when he left everything behind and followed after God. Jacob, Israel is doing the same thing, and so they give him the idols, and then you may think it's weird, and then they give him their earrings. Well, that those earrings, they were a symbol many times of worships of gods and idols and stuff, and so they were essentially leaving behind anything connected with those false gods, those idols, those, I mean, really those spiritual forces that were opposed to God. And so they left behind anything to show, well, our alignment, our focus, the only one we worship is this God that has brought us here, this God um, who spoke to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. And so they leave that all behind. And I think that's a good picture to think about, the idea that we are called to leave behind anything that gets in the way of our worship of God. And, we look at it today like, well, we don't worship idols. Well, we do. We just don't always call it worship, and we don't call them gods. There are many people who worship the almighty dollar, through the way that they live their life. There are many people that worship image, reputation, who worship having all the greatest gadgets and toys, and having the great car, or having a big boat, or whatever it may be. The idea is any of those things, if it becomes um, something that is a central focus in our life, it's a problem. We can worship many things. I'm a fan of Paul Tillich, and when he talks about religion and worship, he talks about ultimate concern. What are the things that you're willing to sacrifice for? Because those are the things that you are worshiping, even maybe without not realizing it consciously, but you are willing to give up everything for those things. And so we are still called to make sure that we are a people as Jesus followers that leave everything behind that can interfere with God, and that we can be constantly on the lookout for those things that might creep in and become a large part of our life that can almost turn into that idol, just like Rachel had brought along from Padan Aram. Just something to think about today. Hope you guys are doing well. Have a wonderful day.